Hey everybody, it's Jenny, and I have a traveler's notebook layout that I am going to share with you today. I have printed 4 photos on one 4x6 layout, and I'm going to trim them up to fit on this particular page. I'd like to mat them on one 4x6 mat, and let me see. I'm going to trim 2 sheets or one 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock down to 2 4 1/8 inch by 8 1/8 inch to use as the background of my pages. And I'm going to mat my photos on some white cardstock. However, spoiler alert, I realize soon that this is too big. It's basically the exact same size as the background paper, and I want it to be a little bit smaller, so I'll reconstruct that. But never you mind. We'll get to my not really thinking this through in a little bit. Now, so I said each of the background pages is 4 1/8 by 8 1/8 on white cardstock, and I will use some patterned paper to go over that. But I wanted this all to feel really bright and airy, and I also wanted to leave plenty of white space for stamping. This layout, the basic premise is we're really going to talk a lot about stamping and how I like to use stamping as an accent. I am contributing to a Cocoa Daisy blog post about stamping this week, and instead of talking about stamping as a primary piece, which I stamp a lot, you guys know that stamping is really a huge part of my life, but I wanted to talk about using stamping as an accent because I feel like when you talk about stamping, people want to talk about it as the primary, and I do that all the time. So let's talk about it as an accent. Now I trimmed that piece of pattern paper down to about 6 inches tall, and it's beautiful and it's going to be understated and a perfect background. Now I'm peeling all of those photos up because I'm going to trim them down. They end up being about 1.5 inches wide and about 2 1/4 inches tall. That way, they can all mat together and really not feel so crowded on that background piece of cardstock. I wanted to keep the integrity of the photos. I didn't want them to feel like I trimmed off too much, but I didn't want them to feel like they were too large. And this way, I was able to do that. I didn't feel like I lost anything of the photos. So the photos are, one of them, this is about an engagement party. One of them is the happy couple, and then a couple of them are the signature cocktails, and then one of them is the cake. And so I felt like that really gave the flavor of the party, which is wonderful and really absolutely what I was trying to capture. And then I'm able to add some accents and some fun decoration, and then also, I'll add a little bit of journaling as well. So you can see I'm rematting it, and I'm using the same piece of cardstock, so you can see how I'm saving a whole lot of room over there on the bottom and on the side as well. That's going to be so much better, and it's going to feel so much better on the page, like it just all fits a lot better. Now let's go back and talk about the stamping again. So I want to talk about stamping as an accent to your page, not as it being like, oh my gosh, we must stamp absolutely everything. I think there's so many ways to add stamping where it just really fits into the overall design. You get to add things where it feels really fun and absolutely creative without it feeling like I must stamp absolutely everything or it was a bust. All right, so now we have the real meat down. Now this is a stamp set that Rachel Newman and I designed for the sketch class that's going on at Cocoa Daisy. I will link that up for you down below. It's 8 weeks, 24 sketches. That's right, 24. So it is a bargain price. If you want to get it with the stamp, it's $30. Without the stamp, it's $15. I can't even get over how great that is. All right, so I stamped the big splotch in a light aqua. sea glass by the Stamp Market, and I am layering on top of it the script font of love, which I just love layering with stamps. But I also love layering with stamps where the stamp is the background and then you layer something else on top of it. So in this case, stickers. But then now in the Tropic Teal, which is ever so slightly darker, I'm going to layer this sort of plant stamp from the October Modern Memory Keeping Kit on top of that. It's like an olive branch type thing. And then again from the class stamp, I'm going to layer on top of both of those the documented. I love this cluster. So it's the perfect example of how layering all of these things together is beautiful and how the stamping is wonderful and how it provides a beautiful accent all together. But I didn't have to use exclusively stamps to make something really beautiful. It worked wonderfully all together. Now, these are really cool stickers that are included in the Modern Memory Keeping Kit. They turn basically anything into a tag. Look at that. How cool is that? And then that little tag is also included in the kit. It's just like a packed by tag, but on the back it's got a really cool decoration. Love it. All right, so now we're going to add this grateful stamp up at the top. So pretty. Also from the Modern Memory Keeping Kit, and what I am grateful for. And then I'm going to stamp these small little splatters around it. And again, these are from the Sketch Class kit. And I'm going to use the different colors, the Sea Glass and the Tropic Teal from the Stamp Market. I will link up the Stamp Market below. The colors are so beautiful, they coordinate so well. And again, you just get to build upon the design with these stamps. They work really well together. Perfection is not necessary. So if you're kind of nervous, this is perfect. These aren't meant to be perfect. This is meant to look like spilled or splattered paint. It's a great place to start with layering stamps because there is no perfection expected or required. It is definitely meant to look like, oh, hey, a big accident happened here. All right, so we did something similar down at the bottom, and then I'm going to break back out that olive branch stamp. However, I'm going to put down that little piece of patterned paper so that I can have that branch hang off the edge because I don't want to use the entire thing. Now I'm thinking about adding a little chipboard accent down there, and these are the chipboard pieces from the Modern Memory Keeping Kit. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do down there, so I'm going to kind of think about this. I want to use one of these die cuts. There's a lot of fun phrases, but they don't all go with what I'm considering. So I'm just kind of thinking and going through all of them. I want to include it in the center of all four of those right there because I love that look and how it pulls them all right into the center and it really makes your eye look right there. But I needed to find the phrase that really worked. Now again, I wanted to make sure that there wasn't something more perfect in this other die cut pack. They're mostly tags, a few other beautiful little images, but nothing else that really worked because again, this is an engagement party. So I didn't want anything really sarcastic or really witty or anything deeply fall because this is a engagement party in Southern California in mid-September. It's not remotely fall here. And so these are very fall themed items, which is wonderful, but it's not really fall here. So I can use some fall themed, but I found the perfect little chipboard bit to layer down below there. And I think you can see how what I meant by perfection is not required. Now I printed my journaling on this sticker paper. I'm going to trim it up and then stick it down, and that is it for me. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment box below and I will do my very best to get back to you. Thank you so much and make it a great day.